Hello everyone, and this is MrSovr with a very interesting video. It's not Minecraft, it is, on the other hand, how I do my apps. Now, first of all, excuse me, this is only for iOS development, and I'm sure this is going to be the most interesting tool you've ever seen for, let me see, for any iOS device ever. This is a thing called AGK. App Game Kit, that is from thegamecreators.com. I'm on their website in my products. There's also all sorts of stuff like Dark Basic and Dark AI, Dark Lights, all those expansions to Dark Basic, but that's for another time. AGK is a 2D library, 2D graphics library that has all sorts of amazing, awesome tools. And the most interesting thing with AGK, which will be in a second video or something like that, is that it can actually support making apps on your PC, which I think is crazy, instead of just Mac. But we are going to open up this folder, bring this out over here, and what you do is you need to get an account with the game creators, you need to have a Mac, and you need to have the SDK program. If you don't have the SDK program, then that's not good. The AGK is around $100, so you'll be paying like $100 for the program, $100 for the development plan. Overall cost you $200, not too bad. You can also use the AGK to program in Android, BlackBerry, PC, Beta, and MeeGo, including iPhone, all in one programming language, which is on the PC version, not the Mac version. Mac version is only for iOS. But let's take a look at their website. How about that? AGK website. If my computer can load. So this is their website. Whoops. And it's basically a system where you can program in one programming language and deploy anywhere. In this case, the type of programming I'm doing, that's not the case because it's specifically only for iOS. It's in the native language, making it so I could do more features than if I were on the PC version. Anyways, the Mac has QuickTime and it has the best screen recording software, so I might as well do it in Mac. You could get a free trial of this. It's pretty cool. There's tutorials. You can make money. Let's see what this is. Supports Amazon, BlackBerry, Samsung, Intel, iTunes, Android, all that stuff. And sorry for the background noise. Somebody's mowing their lawn. It's bugging the crap out of me. There's like F&Q, galleries, different types of games. It's pretty good. Go native. This is what I am doing. Native is, as you can see here, their most basic programming language. Well, I'm sorry, in like object-oriented programming. We are going to be going into not Objective-C, but in C++. Or you could do this, which is the PC version, is the basic programming. It supports arrays and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really, really amazing. And this is basically what it's about and what it does. Really, really fun stuff. We are going to do the AGK 1.054 version. Now, before I do this, I need to make sure that this actually works, because I believe that the last time I tried this, it didn't really work too well. So I'm going to open up the Xcode stuff. I'm going to look in here. There are classes. Now, the template.c++ and the template.h are the main two files you want to look at. The template.h is how you set up stuff. For example, like set variables, function, stuff like that. C++ is the heart and I don't know, the heart of the program. And before, well, here, let me see if this actually works. Yeah, it doesn't. Crap, man. That sucks. That means that I cannot show you anything but show you how to program, which really sucks, even worse. Wow, what the crap. Okay, before I get into stuff, I'm going to pause the video, as soon as I can. How do you pause? Damn. Wow. I'm such a noob. Okay, what the hell? Excuse me for my language. I can't believe that this part, it has to have something. Just something. Okay, that is nothing. Okay, so let's go into IDE, let's go into apps, interpreter. Okay, so I need to go into here. There's a boatload of stuff. Yeah, I don't believe I can really do anything here. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. So I am just going to go over the commands, and in my next video I am going to show you what they actually do. And next time I'll be better prepared, trust me guys. But here is some simple stuff. First of all, we have our begin function, our loop function, and our end function. Our begin function makes it so that you can set up your stuff. For example, set virtual resolution. These are two variables automatically set for you, but you can just delete these. And the modern iPhone 4S resolution is 640/920. That basically sets the resolution, virtual resolution, to that screen's resolution. If you do not know the screen resolution, there are two functions: AGK : capital get device width. And I spelled device wrong. Wow. Okay. AGK get device height. And that will do the exact same thing for you, but if it's on an iPad, it will change the resolution for you. Stuff like that. The only problem is I would prefer that you were to not have this function, because the problem is if you play stuff based on pixels, it's going to be totally different on an iPad than it is on an iPhone. For example, if you placed a sprite 100 by 100 and you expect it to be there on an iPad, well, guess what? It's not. It's shrunk. So you want to take that in effect. That's happened to me before. But that's how you set the virtual resolution. Like, you could change the virtual resolution to almost anything. The thing is, it's not the actual resolution. That's the thing. But I would prefer just to set it to, for now, let me see, 640/920. Okay, so the next command we're going to look at is load image. This is kind of self-explanatory. Basically what you do is AGK : load image. You set that image a number. I set it as number 1, so it's a reference number. A reference number means, like, for example, if you create a sprite, which is, we're going to explain in a second, you had to reference that sprite off to an image. So you say, okay, I want to create sprite 1 with a reference to image 1. So therefore, whatever, the sprite is a 2D object that is represented by an image. So it could be like a character, a monster, whatever. Like if you make monster.png and you want to create a sprite so there's monsters in your game, like 2D monster objects. If you don't know what sprites are, well, I don't think you should be doing this, looking at this video, but just for in case people don't know what sprites are, that's basically what it is. Basically like an image that is placed on the screen of your iPhone that you can position, size, all sorts of this stuff. But this is how you load an image. You can't do anything with an image except for creating a sprite off of it at the moment. You can do stuff like AGK : set image size, which you say, okay, I want image, let me make sure I get this right. Okay, I want image 1 to be 32 by 32 pixels. I don't think I got that right. Set image size. Image size. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Okay, that's how you create a sprite. I don't know why I thought that you could do it with an image. I got it mixed up. Sorry, guys. I know this is a rough start, but trust me, I'll get better. This is how you create a sprite. Again, I told you all that stuff about a sprite being a 2D object on a screen and all that. Now, what I was meaning to say is that you can set sprite size 64 by 64 pixels. You can set the size of it and stuff like that. Set sprite position. That's where you position it on the screen. Now the thing is, there is no AI command, so you kind of have to make your own AI system if you're gonna make like a game like a monster not controlling you, following you and stuff like that. I'm gonna get into that in the future videos, but right now I'm just going over the basic commands so you understand stuff. But that's how you position a sprite. Make the size of the sprite. Those are basic commands for 2D graphics. The other thing I want to kind of get over before any of this video ends is that the loop basically means that it will constantly go through this loop over and over and over and over and over and over and over during the app while it's on. But as soon as the person that's having the iPhone turn off the app, it'll go through this sequence once and then the app is done. It's off. Basically, this end function is made for saving data before your app closes. Do whatever you want. It's like a deconstructor, if you know what that is. Do whatever you want before the app turns off. This is when the app is on, and this is when the app is booting up. This is the stuff you want to load, because if you try to, wow, my computer did something weird. If you try to load an image, the exact same image ID, more than once, it's going to go into an error saying, oh, you've already loaded this image. You can't load it again unless you give it a different ID reference. So if I were to do this, it'll say, oh, you already loaded hello.ping as reference image 1. You can't do that again. And that is basically what I'm trying to represent here. So if I were to do the exact same thing, but only once there, it will constantly go over a loop. So it'll say, hello, iPhone, iPad, and iPod over and over and over. That's what the print command does. It prints stuff on the screen. The sync command basically is the overall update. You need it in there, enough said. Just keep one in there. Don't multiply where you have like 3 syncs at once. And the load image, well, it'll do an error because it keeps on loading the exact same image and it's going to overlap and it's going to say, hey, you already loaded it up. So the other thing I 100% prefer you to never, ever, ever, ever do in this function is to do a do while loop that constantly goes in a loop. You can't do that. It doesn't work. Never ever do that. You could do for loops. For loops are easy, and they even show you the syntax for it. We are not even going to go over do loops in this tutorial at all, unless we're going to go into tier 1, which I'll tell you later. A for loop, you need to initialize an integer, a double, a float, as long as it's a variable. If you want to, you can, how would I do this? You can initialize a variable within a for loop just by putting an int there representing an integer. So x is a variable. A variable can be equal to any number based on what it is, whether if it's a double, float, or integer. A double means that it can hold decimal points and a much broader range of numbers, where integers cannot handle decimals, and it's a much smaller number system. I don't remember what are the ranges, but float, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time, takes up less memory as a double, but it's practically the same thing. I tend to use doubles and floats interchangeably, and integers are just integers, and strings are used for, a string is for holding a sentence, basically. A sentence, a word, something that requires more than one character. Now, a char, which is a character, I never use them, so you're probably not going to see in this tutorial. That's only for one letter. But anyways, let's get back into the loops. Wait. I should probably, that is not the right one I want selected. I probably want to open up this. Okay, so if you want to universally assign a variable where it could be accessed anywhere within this code and not only be accessed in certain parts of it, you come to here, and right here, just right here, under the public, you could type in int hello semicolon, or double good semicolon, or float GG semicolon, or I forgot how you do strings. Never really used one before. I don't think that's how you do it. But it's hello, good, and GG. This is an int, double, and a float. Now you can't assign the variables within this area, but what this basically means is the public means that it can be accessed anywhere. These publics right here are basically for functions, and I wouldn't mess around with this at all. If you want to create a function, I would do it within the C++ area, but I'm going to get to that later. So for loop, let's just say the x is initialized at 0. You put a semicolon, and then the loop keeps on going through the loop until this condition is met. So if x is less than 100, it'll keep on doing that loop until that x variable reaches 100 or above. So therefore you would say x plus plus semicolon, semicolon, whatever you put inside the semicolon, that loop will happen 100 times, or I'm sorry, 99 times. And whatever code is in there, whether if it's loading images, creating sprites, whatever, that's what's going to happen. For loops are good for when you have to create a boatload of sprites without constantly having to type over create sprite, create sprite, create sprite over and over and over and over and over. But let me see here. Let me go over a couple more commands, and I have to go. I have to do stuff. Let me see here. Another easy one is sleep. Now, sleep is a delay command. It will stay there within the code for 100 milliseconds, right there. 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second, so on and so forth. It's a very simple delay command. That's all you really need to know for that. AGK get pointer state. Now, I don't know if you know a lot about C++, but this specific command is used in an if statement. An if statement is if, let me retype that one. If this statement, which is AGK : get pointer state, equals to 1, then this code within these brackets will be executed. That's basically what an if statement is. It goes over a condition. If that condition meets its requirement, which is equal to 1, it will just do the code. Now, AGK ... get pointer state basically means the pointer is represented as your finger, and the state means whether it's touching the screen or not. So this command right here will return a 0 if the finger is not touching the screen, and it will return a 1 if it is touching the screen. So that is a basic setup for that. So let's just say if get pointer state is equal to 1, AGK set sprite position. And since up here we created a sprite and our reference number was 1, we can add a command called since it's a XY coordinates, we are going to have to do this, even though I got this one wrong. Get pointer Y. So get pointer X means you get the X coordinates of where you put your finger on the screen, and the pointer Y is where you get the Y coordinates from the pointing of your finger. So this basically, this little tiny program here, if it was looped around constantly, basically what would happen is wherever you put your finger, that sprite would appear right there. And if you were to take off your finger, the sprite would stay there. But if you place your finger somewhere else on the screen, it would appear right there. And if you hold down on the screen and you just move your finger across the screen, the sprite will follow your finger. And that is another cool command. I guess I'll do one more. If I were to change these to get direction X, AGK get direction Y, instead of your finger, now I know this is a little difficult to understand because of the direction part, it should be tilt. This reads the X coordinates and Y coordinates of your phone's accelerometer. So basically when you tilt the phone left, this get direction X will decrease. And when you tilt your phone to the right, this direction X value increases. Same as the Y, but Y when you tilt it down the variable goes down. If you tilt it upwards or frontwards, the variable goes up. So if you tilt the phone, the sprite will move across the screen. The only problem is that the get direction X and the get direction Y only go to -1 to 1. So you're going to have to do some math here, and you have to times it by like 100 and times that by 100 in order to actually move across the screen, instead of it nudging like 1 pixel this way and 1 pixel that way. That's how you actually use the phone to tilt it. Now, let me see here. I think this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching my video. More to come eventually, and more Minecraft videos to come. I know I did 2 videos today. The main reason why is because I had a lot of time. And again, thank you guys for everything. Oh yeah, make sure you subscribe and like my video. Go on to Facebook, type in Parker's Apps, and like it. Trust me, these videos are going to be on there and everything. If you want updates on my apps or want to download some of my apps, which should be published within a week or 2, got like 7 of them waiting on there, make sure you like that page. I really would appreciate it. I'm going to be a little bit more prepared next time to actually show you what this code does, but this is a little bit of an intro. Make sure you read up on your C++ so you kind of understand a little bit more later on. I'm not going to go over every single little tiny detail of C++, just the commands for AGK in the iPhone development. Thank you. See ya.